update on the triple shooting from earlier this month near KU's campus. And the measles outbreak in California is similar to the outbreak in the Philippines. We'll have more information from the CDC.
Plus a heartwarming story about a pregnant missing dog returned to safety.
KUJH News starts now.
From the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Cailey Taylor. One person is injured following a stabbing at the Salvation Army in Lawrence earlier this afternoon. KUJH reporter Sierra Upton is on the scene. Sierra.
I'm at the Salvation Army in Lawrence, Kansas, where there's been a stabbing in the lobby. Around 1 p.m. a fight broke out between two individuals. Witnesses say one was a white male who was stabbed multiple times, including in the back of the neck and in the stomach. The man then fled across New Hampshire Street into the parking garage where he was found by emergency responders. He was then taken by air ambulance that landed just down the street at Liberty Memorial Central Middle School to the University of Kansas Hospital. KUJH reached out to the Lawrence Police Department but could not get a hold of them for comment. But if you do have any more information regarding this incident, you can reach them at 785-843-7400. Reporting live from the Salvation Army in Lawrence, Kansas, I'm Sierra Upton, KUJH
Thanks,
News.
Sierra. If you plan to leave the house tonight, make sure to prepare for freezing rain, sleet, or even snow. Douglas County is currently under a winter weather advisory until early tomorrow morning. Emergency management officials say drivers should take it slow this evening and be prepared. They also recommend keeping a first aid kit and food and water just in case. We'll have more coming up later in the forecast. A KU student injured following a shooting in Lawrence earlier this month is still in the hospital while the suspects are still on the loose. The shooting happened on West 19th Terrace, just blocks away from KU on February 8th. 3 people were shot in the home and the shooters fled on foot. If you have any information, contact the Lawrence Police Department at 785-843-7400. This morning, the Kansas Senate approved a bill banning an abortion method. The procedure is called dismemberment abortion. The bill bans a medical procedure unless the abortion is necessary to save the mother's life or save her from irreversible physical impairment. The bill now moves to the House. Governor Sam Brownback has pledged to sign the ban if it's approved by the legislature. It's day 2 of the Engineering Expo at KU. Thousands of young engineers in the making come from all across the region for the expo, where they can use their creativity and showcase their skills. Competitions range from the slingshot to building skyscrapers out of popsicle sticks. This is 6th grader Laura Savage's 3rd year at the event. She entered in the water rocket and gravity car challenges. Open to the public tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. A sand painting exposition from a Tibetan monastery ends in the Kansas Union. The 4-day event allowed the public to watch monks create the paintings. The group travels around North America speaking about Tibetan culture and how to preserve it. Their next stop is in San Francisco later this month. A month-long canned food drive at the Lawrence Public Library is coming to a close next week. Just Food Douglas County focuses on collecting healthy foods and benefits thousands of people. The only requirement for getting food from the pantry is living in Douglas County. The organization holds open pantry Monday through Friday and serves 10,000 people annually.
When you look at our numbers and the early years that we started, we've been able to serve more people every year, but we've also been able to expand where we serve people.
Pantries are located at the Ecumenical Campus Ministries building at KU, the Salvation Army, the Ballard Center, Penn House, South Middle School, and Sunflower Elementary School. Just Foods has had its largest number of clients ever in January. Donations are still being accepted at the public library whenever it is open. The food drive ends on February 28th. The measles in the U.S. are similar to the outbreak in the Philippines. That's according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Genetic analysis from 30 California patients showed a match in the strains from the outbreak in the Philippines that killed 110 people last year and infected 53,000. The CDC says the California outbreak likely started when an overseas traveler went to Disneyland.
Disney, there was a lot of travelers who were probably foreign travelers who were not up to date on vaccines as well.
Closer to home, the Lawrence Douglas County Health Department is holding measles vaccination clinics throughout the country. On February 24th, a clinic will be held at the Baldwin City Recreation Office. They're holding two more, one on February 26th in Eudora and another on March 3rd in Lecompton. They all start at 5:30 in the morning and end at 7. The shot is $78, and all you need is to bring your health insurance information and any form of payment. For more information, you can call the health department at 785-843-0721. Coming up, there's a chance of snow on Saturday. We will have the latest forecast, and the defense rests its case in the American Sniper trial. What's next for the jury? Stay with us. The victim's husband from last week's road rage shooting in Las Vegas says that they knew the shooter who shot and killed his wife. He says the suspect was their neighbor. This comes one day after Eric Nausch was arrested following a standoff with police. Police believe Nausch shot and killed Tammy Myers after Myers and her son went looking for a car that had been aggressive with them on the road. A second suspect has been arrested regarding the shooting. Police have not released the suspect's name.
It is believed right now that he was the only shooter, but there is another suspect involved in the incident.
The second suspect was arrested after making threats near the crime scene tape during Nausch's arrest. The defense rested its case yesterday in the American Sniper trial. Eddie Ray Routh did not take the stand in his insanity defense. The capital murder trial was in recess until this morning, when rebuttal witnesses are expected to testify. Routh is on trial for the shooting deaths of former Navy SEAL Chris Kyle and his friend Chad Littlefield. Routh said he believed Kyle and Littlefield were, quote, hybrid pig people. It looks like we are still going to have some cold days ahead of us starting tomorrow. Let's take a look at your Saturday outlook. In the morning, we're going to have about 30 degrees. It's going to be pretty calm, but you're going to have a small chance of precipitation with those clouds. And then around noon, it's going to warm up a little bit to 36 degrees. Still going to stay cloudy, and you're still going to have a small chance of rain. And then in that evening, it's going to stay at 32 degrees. It's going to be partly cloudy, but you're not going to have any chance of rain. Now, if we take a look at this weekend, Sunday, it's going to drop down to a high of 20, so it's going to be pretty cold. It's not going to be sunny, but no chance of precipitation. Then Monday, it's going to be 26 degrees. It's going to have a little bit of clouds, but there's going to be no rain for you. And then Tuesday, it's actually going to warm up to 45 degrees. We're going to have the sun. It's going to be a little bit rainy, but you know what? It doesn't look like we're going to be getting any snow looking into next week. And then if you're going to the game this weekend, dress in layers for your weight because it's going to be cold. KU students, as usual, are already camping for the game against TCU and Allen Fieldhouse. Luckily, they're inside away from the cold. You know, I've camped, but I think it would make a huge difference if I had to camp outside.
It does make a huge difference. And as cold as it is outside, it always warms my heart to see the dedication that KU basketball fans have.
Now, you know, they're waiting. Is the game worth the wait?
Absolutely. We're looking for a bounce-back victory after a tough loss at West Virginia. And for these KU basketball fans, the wait is always worth it. Coming up next in sports, the Kansas softball team heads down to Gainesville, Florida to face the defending champion Florida Gators. Plus, the KU men's basketball team looks to bounce back against TCU after a tough loss at West Virginia. Stay with us.
This could be a big run here for the Jayhawks.
The KU men's basketball team hosts TCU on Saturday. It's their second matchup of the year against the Horned Frogs. KU beat them last month in Fort Worth, winning by 3. But now the Jayhawks are coming off a heartbreaking 62-61 loss in a thriller against West Virginia last Monday. After West Virginia's Jawan Staten hit the go-ahead layup with 4 seconds left, Perry Ellis missed the potential game-winning layup off the long pass from Jamari Traylor. The Jayhawks need to bounce back tomorrow against the Horned Frogs. At 10-3 in Big 12 play, Kansas has at least a 1-game lead on the rest of the Big 12, with 5 conference games left to play. The Jayhawks are looking for their 21st straight victory at home. Saturday will also mark the 230th consecutive sellout at Allen Fieldhouse, dating back to the 2001-2002 season. This will be the 29th consecutive season that KU has led its conference in home attendance. Tip-off for Saturday's game is at 3 p.m. The KU women's basketball team wants to get back to 500. They face Oklahoma State on Saturday. After losing 4 games in a row and 5 of their last 6, KU now sits in last place in the Big 12 with a 4-10 conference record. The Cowgirls beat KU earlier this month at Allen Fieldhouse 65-57. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. in Stillwater. The KU baseball team got their first victory of the season in dramatic fashion against the University of Washington. That game was the first of 4 games, part of the Big 12 Pac-12 Challenge. Down 8-5 in the bottom of the 8th inning, KU reeled off 6 runs off of 5 hits to take an 11-8 lead, and that ended up being the final score. The Big 12 Pac-12 Challenge continues today for the Jayhawks when they face Utah at 5:30. They have another game Saturday against Washington State. Their final game of the tournament is Sunday afternoon against Oregon State. The Kansas women's tennis team looks to keep its momentum going, traveling to Colorado to face 2 ranked opponents this weekend. KU is fresh off a thrilling 4-3 win over the 49th ranked Houston Cougars last Saturday. The Jayhawks will face the 65th ranked Denver Pioneers on Saturday in Denver. The 2 teams have met a total of 4 times, with the all-time series tied at 2. First serve is set for 5 p.m. The Jayhawks will then face the 68th ranked Colorado Buffaloes Sunday in Boulder. KU leads the all-time series against their former Big 12 foe 26-17. First serve is set for 1 p.m. The Kansas softball team is on fire to start the season. After a perfect 10-0 start to the 2015 campaign, the Jayhawks play 5 games in the next 3 days during the Aquafina Invitational down in a chilly Gainesville, Florida. The Jayhawks got off to another good start today by beating Liberty 10-4. KU plays Illinois State today at 2:45. The tournament continues Saturday as the Jayhawks face defending national champion Florida and Mercer. Their final game of the tournament is Sunday morning against Illinois State.
You know, it's always so great to see our KU softball team do so well. And, you know, another win today, another batch of good news.
You know what also might be some good news is a pregnant dog that ran away from her foster family is found safe. Our own Harrison Drake has the latest on this happy ending.
It was 11th and Oregon Street that a runaway pregnant dog, Penny, was found and returned to the Lawrence Humane Society. Penny went missing for 4 days after she bolted from her foster parents Monday morning. Thanks to social media and city volunteers, Penny was returned to safety. Kate Mengshi of the Lawrence Humane Society says that Penny's story is one of many animals.
I think that people really rallied around this dog, and I hope that all of these wonderful people who helped us with Penny will help all of the other lost and stray animals that are in our community.
Kate also said that Penny's story isn't just about her, but how a community can come together. If you would like to report a missing pet or volunteer at the Lawrence Humane Society, you can call 785-843-6835. My name is Harrison Drake, KUJH News.
Penny is expecting puppies within the next week or 2. Well, you know, my dog has never been lost, luckily, but I don't know what I would do if he was gone.
You know, my dog ran away when I was a child, and there's nothing more scary than thinking that you've lost your family friend like that. I'm, for one, all for a happy ending like that.
Well, it's good that the Lawrence community came together. Well, that does it for your news.
Be sure to tune in at 4:30 to Jayhawk Sports Report.
All right, have a great evening, guys.